Hey, this is Mark Manuel, and I wanted to tell you a story that happened to me. It's pretty amazing. Happened to me last weekend when I was up here on the Scream Fall Children's Retreat weekend at Camp Woodlands. I actually had an angelic encounter, which was pretty intense, a little forceful, but totally rescued my life, literally, in the middle of the night. And so I wanted to kind of tell you the story. I was up here at the big chapel. It was midnight on Saturday night. I was checking on my media team. They were making the videos for the rest of the weekend, and it had been raining all day. So it was a little after midnight, and I had my umbrella, and I came out of the porch up there and had to walk all the way across camp to my cabin. And it was raining, and so I had my umbrella and I started walking, and I did not have a flashlight. So my Boy Scout days, I was not prepared, unfortunately. And I was walking back to my cabin. And as I began to walk, I had to go all the way across camp to the High Point cabin, and that's when things got a little interesting. So I was walking down the road to my cabin, this is High Point right up here, and my cabin is on the very top, the third floor, the very top floor, and it was raining, and I had my umbrella, and I got up to the top floor, got in my room, and I realized my phone was dead. And my charger cable was in my truck, which is up in a parking lot off to the side over here. And so I had to put my shoes back on, get my umbrella, and I went back outside after about 5 or 10 minutes to go get my charging cable in my truck. And when I came back outside, it was pouring down rain. Okay, you have to understand, camp at night here at Woodlands, there's not a whole lot of light at that hour of the night. And so I could see to go down the stairs in the front of the cabin because that was lit up. But when I got to the bottom of the steps and started to try to make my way to the parking lot where my truck was, the light ran out, and I literally could not see my hand in front of my face. That's how dark it was. Plus it was pouring down rain. That had a lot to do with not being able to see. And all I had was my umbrella, and then I got to the end of the walkway that had the little lighted pavers on it, and I couldn't see a thing. And that's where I'm going to pick up right up here. We'll go see where the interesting encounter happened. That's my cabin up there on the third floor, and it was pouring down rain. I came all the way back down these stairs in the middle of the night. There was a little bit of light here, so I began to walk down this pathway right here, and as you can see, there's little white lit up paver stones here, and it was so dark and it was raining so hard. Once I passed this corner here, I could not see a thing except these little tiny squares that were lit up. So I walked over here, and I could not see any of this stuff in front of me. All of this was black. Like, I could not see the hand in front of my hand in front of my face. And so I stopped. I could see these last pavers right here, and I stopped right here, but I couldn't see anything. And so I knew that I had to go to the parking lot to get my truck, and I thought that the walkway was to my left, and it was, but I couldn't see. But the pathway went right here, and so what I did was I stopped right here with my left foot, and I couldn't see any of this right here at all. And so I was thinking to myself, and I had my umbrella and no flashlight. Well, right here is about a 9 to 10 foot drop down concrete steps. I did not know this was here. It looked like in the middle of the night in the pitch black darkness, it looked like a path. So I didn't see that pathway. And so I stopped and I paused and I thought, this must be the path to the parking lot. And I paused, and then I took a step. And I stepped off of here into what I thought was a pathway, and I stepped onto open air, and I began to fall face forward to eat a mouthful of concrete and knock my teeth out. And as I was falling down the stairs like this, free falling with my umbrella, getting ready to land on the concrete at the bottom, I got hit in the chest like a freight train. Something literally, as I was falling forward, free falling, something hit me in the chest really hard, and it knocked me up in the air so that I fell and landed on the stairs, and it set me down gently. It wasn't, I mean, I landed, but it wasn't a hard land. I didn't get a scrape on me. I landed on the stairs on my rear end and on my 2 elbows perfectly. And I mean, those stairs could have hit my back and it would have been toast. But I went from free falling in midair forward and eating a mouthful of concrete to getting knocked back and landing like this. And when I landed on the stairs, I was just in a sitting position with my elbows on the stairs. And then the motion light came on down under here, and I could see that I fell down the stairs, but I didn't fall down the stairs. And at the time, I didn't understand what had happened to me. I was kind of dazed. And so I stood up, and the motion light had come on so I could see a little bit. And I went up to my truck and I got my charger cable, and then I went back up to my room. And I sat there for about 15 or 20 minutes kind of thinking about what had just happened to me, because I was kind of dazed. And then my memory came back and I realized what had happened to me. Like, I was falling face forward into the concrete from about 9 to 10 foot drop. And I had been hit in the chest, and I realized that my chest was sore where I had been hit in the front. And I was righted, and I landed like this. So it was obvious at that point. I realized that I had been supernaturally rescued, like an angel had intervened in my stupidity of walking around in the middle of the night in the dark, and had protected me from falling forward and breaking my arm and getting my teeth knocked out and all kind of crazy stuff. I mean, it would have been really bad. I would have had to go to the hospital, and I mean, the scream retreat would have been messed up. It would have been not a good evening. And totally rescued me from a situation of pretty significant physical harm. Righted me, sat me down, and then it took me a few minutes to think about it and process it, but then I realized that God had supernaturally intervened. So Psalm 91, 11 and 12 says this. This is amazing. It says, "For he will give his angels charge concerning you, to guard you in all of your ways. They will bear you up in their hands, that you do not strike your foot against a 9-foot concrete stairway or stone." It's pretty amazing, because that's exactly what happened to me. I was right here. I stepped off, and God supernaturally intervened, and I'm still like blown away that, I don't know, that he did that for me. And I'm very obviously very grateful that I didn't break my arms or knock my teeth out. But I just wanted to share that story, because it was pretty much of a supernatural encounter. I've seen people healed, all kind of stuff, but I'd never had God intervene like that way in my life before. And so I just wanted to encourage you that God has your life. He has our lives in His hands. And we think that, you know, we're on our own often. But the reality is that He's with us at every minute of every second of every day. And the Bible says He'll never leave us. He'll never forsake us. And He cares about everything in our lives, even the little things like falling down a set of concrete stairs. He has incredible plans and purposes for each of us. So I just want to encourage you with that story. It's what happened to me. It happened last week, and I wanted to get this out sooner, but I have another retreat weekend this weekend, so it's been busy. But I wanted to encourage you with that encounter, and let you know that Jesus loves you, cares about you, and He has great plans and purposes for your life.